Good morning. Would we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Thank you all. We will start out with minutes and claims from our auditor.
Thank you. We have minutes to get approved by the commissioners for June 3rd of 2025.
Reviewed and make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
We have a claim docket for May 30th of 2025 through June 6th of 2025 in the amount of $1,540,689.77. If the commissioners would approve that, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Then we have the payroll docket dated May 30th of 2025 through June 6th of 2025 in the amount of $1,145,000, $333.52, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
That's definitely one we don't want to not approve.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Mr. Hutchings, you are up again. Covered bridge certification?
Yes, so
Okay.
the Office of Indiana State Comptroller is collecting statewide data to determine the eligibility for covered bridge funding, which is designated for maintaining covered bridges within a county. And for us to receive a distribution, the county must certify the number of covered bridges on the road system. And we have one, I believe at Fowler Park. And so I have put that on there, and I'm just going to have the commissioners approve that and then sign off on that after the meeting.
I think that's annual, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. Motion to approve.
Second.
Do you know how much we get for the bridge? Offhand, just curious. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just curious on that question.
I think if I remember around 16,000 some odd, if I remember right.
Every little bit helps.
I do have one more.
Okay?
So we are going through an audit right now for 23, 24. And there have been several instances where we've had to create policies that were not created before. So we are doing that as we go along. This is a Vigo County subrecipient monitoring policy. The purpose of this policy is to establish county-wide guidelines for monitoring subrecipients of federal awards or grants to the county to ensure compliance with federal statutes, regulations, and the terms and conditions of the subaward. We are responsible for federal funds provided to subrecipients. So this is just a policy that we have created to be legal with and in compliance with State Board of Accounts. And it'll be on our records from now on. So I need to get approval for that.
Yep, I had an opportunity to talk to Judy yesterday, and mainly because of this is, first of all, we should have had one in the past. Second of all, because of all the American Rescue Plan Act pass-through grant recipients, this is just an extra way to monitor those and also provide context and information to the State Board of Accounts when we do get audited. So Terry did just quickly review it. It's nothing more than just another additional policy in the county.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
We're doing public comments now, I believe, sir?
No, we're going to go ahead and
Okay, I'm
do
sorry.
the solar presentation.
Okay. So Amber Kim from Derivia Energy is here, and she has a presentation for us.
Okay.
All right, good morning. Thank you for giving us time on your agenda. We're excited to be here to give you an update about our solar project, the Hoosier Jack Solar Project here in Vigo County. I'm here with some other members of my team, Patrick Walsh, who is Development Manager, Patrick Smith, Director of Engineering, as well as Nathan Hagerman, who is Counsel. My name is Amber Kim, and I'm also development manager and working on this project as well. I know it's been a couple of years since I think we have been here to talk to you about the project, so really excited to give you some updates. So first of all, I want to take a minute to just talk about Deriva Energy. When we first were here talking about the project, it was as Duke Energy Renewables. There has been a rebranding and a little bit of a change. So Duke Energy Renewables, which was part of the larger Duke umbrella, was acquired by Brookfield a couple of years ago. So now, and then after that, Duke Energy Renewables was rebranded into Deriva Energy. So essentially, we're still the same people, it's just under new ownership. So if you were kind of wondering who Deriva is, that's who we are. So just to kind of recap, Deriva is a developer, owner, and operator of wind, solar, and battery storage projects across the country. As you can see in this map, we have a pretty large footprint, widespread projects in 18 different states, 87 projects in operation or under construction. So we're a pretty sizable company with a lot of projects across the country. So now I want to just take a minute to give you a sort of a refresher about the project itself. So again, the name is Hoosier Jack Solar Project. It's a 175 megawatt solar project that straddles Vigo County and Sullivan County. The majority of the project footprint is in Vigo County, about 900 acres, and then 600 in Sullivan. It's east of Farmersburg, kind of down south. And this is a single landowner project, which is pretty exciting because normally we have a lot of different landowners for solar projects. One thing that we're very excited about with this project is that it is located on reclaimed, decommissioned coal site. It's a brownfield site, so it's a really great way to have beneficial reuse of this land. And it's right next to, directly south of what Vigo County calls the Hoosier Jack mega site, which I know has been sort of targeted and targeted for redevelopment, and a small portion of our project site is actually within that mega site kind of boundary. So it's a great way to kind of redevelop that site along the lines of what the county was looking for. And then our project is transmission scale, meaning it's pretty sizable, and it'll be connecting to the larger electric grid by connecting into the existing 138 kV transmission line owned by Duke Energy Indiana. And then just to give you an idea of what 175 megawatt means, it's about equivalent power to powering 35,000 homes, so this is a sizable power generation project. So, it was, I think, back in 2021 that we were last here, and, we haven't built the project yet, so you may be wondering what's been taking so long. It's primarily because of something called the generator interconnection process. So, to put simply, any sort of power generation project, whether it's solar, wind, gas, coal, needs to go through something called the interconnection process in order to get online. We can't just build a project and plug it in. We have to go through a process managed by the grid operator. And the grid operator here in sort of the Midwest is called MISO, the Mid-Continent Mid-Continent Independent System Operator. And Indiana is in the central region of MISO. So how the process goes is you apply, say, hey, I have a project, I want to interconnect to the grid, and then you have to go through a couple phases of studies where MISO will essentially try to determine what the impact of a new generation project will do to the grid infrastructure, see if it's capable of taking in that energy, and if not, figure out what sort of physical upgrades to make, and then that takes money to do, so then it'll allocate costs to us, the developer, and tell us how much we need to pay. So, and then at the end of that, you can sign an interconnection agreement where that gives you permission to actually connect. So we've been going through that process. Back in 2020, when we first applied to the interconnection queue, that whole process only took 1 year. But in the past several years, the number of projects that have wanted to connect to the grid have skyrocketed, and it's really slowed this process down. So for us, it's taken 5 years to get through that process. But luckily, we finally are at the end of that. We actually just signed our generator interconnection agreement for the project last year. So that's been a huge milestone for the project that we're very excited about. So that's really been the main delay in why this project, and quite frankly, a lot of projects, power generation projects, have been taking a long time across the country. So as I said, the GIA being executed has been the biggest project update that we're most excited about. But over the past couple of years, while we've been going through that, we have been making steady progress to advancing our project. That includes things like environmental due diligence for the site just to make sure we understand what's out there, if there are wetlands, habitats, et cetera, knowing what we need to do there to be in compliance with state law regulation, federal regulations, et cetera. We've done kind of cultural resource surveys to look for any historical, archaeological items of significance, mapping out the site through surveys, procuring long lead time equipment. Some of the equipment for solar projects takes years to deliver from ordering it. So things like solar panels, the breakers, main power transformers. And then we've been working on some preliminary designs for the project to advance that as well. So that's sort of what we've been doing over the past few years, and happy to share sort of a new updated project timeline for the project. So we're hoping and estimating to be able to start construction on our project sometime between the end of this year and mid next year, with the goal of having our project online and completed by the end of 2027. So that, again, these are always moving targets, but that's sort of our newest best outlook on the project. And then lastly, I wanted to just go over again what the benefits, the community benefits will be for our project. So this project is a significant investment to the community. We anticipate that the total project investment will be upwards of $250 million. That will, of course, be spread between Vigo and Sullivan County. And we anticipate about $140 million plus being in Vigo County. And we anticipate that will translate into upwards of $6 million in tax revenue for the county, with over $2 million going to the county, over $2 million to the school, local school district as well. And then, of course, there will be other local economic benefits, including up to 200 construction jobs. That construction period can range from 12 to 18 years. And then we'll have to have a few full-time staff for the project operations. And then, we will make reasonable efforts to try to hire locally where possible for maintenance needs and other needs like that for the project going forward. And then also just reiterating that this is, I think, a great way to basically redevelop a property that was used for one type of energy use and will be for another in the county on a brownfield site. And then lastly, Deriva is committed to being a good neighbor in the community, and we want to be engaged. So this is an ask for you all in the community. We'd love to hear from you about what your priorities, or if there's ways that you think it would be great for us to get involved, whether it's getting involved with the schools, or if there are certain local organizations that we could support. We'd love to hear your thoughts on that. So
Could I ask a question real
Yes,
quick about that?
of
On
course.
my side? So over the project life, what's the expected lifetime of that?
Oh, yes, sorry, 35 years.
35 years. So
Mhm.
that $2 million will then you divide that by 2 million? So that's why how much, we're not going to get $2 million a year in taxes.
No,
$57,000 a year. Okay. So it comes out to be. That's what I was wondering.
yeah. I know it's, I don't know off the top of my head, I know it's not exactly divided. It'll kind of be on a schedule, but yes, that'd be over the lifetime of the project.
Okay.
Yes, that wraps up sort of the main updates, but happy to answer any questions.
Yes. Have any questions?
What's the project, since you conceived this, what's your amount of increase in cost to build this? Do you know?
The increase in costs compared to what, sorry?
To build this, because you said it was usually 1 year. You were probably anticipating this program to be 1 year build out. Now it's 5 years just to get your license. So you could have built this 4 year.
Oh, from
Increased your
originally.
materials and kind of your
I'm
job.
not really sure. I don't know, Patrick. Do you know?
Yeah, I think I can answer the question
Okay.
again. Do I need to go up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, Patrick Smith. I'm the Director of Engineering at Deriva Energy. I've been engineering this project since its inception in 2020. So from 2020 to 2025, how much has the cost increased to build the project? Is that what the question is?
Yeah, well, I figure you guys set this up as a project to cost this many dollars at some point in time, but now
That's right.
But you haven't been able to get your agreement to.
Right, so back in 2020, it took about a year to get through the interconnection process, and now it takes about 5 years to get through the interconnection process. So when we initially designed the project, it probably cost 40% less, and that's due to
40%.
inflation. Over that time, obviously, we've seen a tremendous amount of inflation. The new tariffs have caused costs to go up a little bit, and then just in general, there's more people trying to get onto the grid, and more people trying to get onto the grid increases the cost to access the grid. So that's a really round number, but I would say between then and now, the costs have gone up across the board for all energy generation projects since 2020 to 2025. I think 40% is probably an accurate number.
Okay, well, I just curious, because there's talk of solar projects all over the county and adjacent counties and what have you, and that cost would be, you could apply that to probably some other project as well,
Yeah, it's
Okay.
very project specific, obviously. The
Right.
interconnection is a huge component of that, and but generally, that's how
Okay.
much costs have gone up since 2020.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that helps.
I'm gonna ask a question that I haven't been on the county council for a few years, so forgive me, and this may be a question for all of us. I appreciate your property tax revenue, but I believe this project was abated in
Yes.
2021, so there won't be any property tax revenue for several years. Is there a conversation about, I know in Sullivan, they do economic impact payments or EDAs, economic development agreements, to have a payment in lieu of not paying property taxes. Is it too late to have that conversation? Anybody? Or can we still have that conversation? Or you can get back with me later, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just wanted to ask the question because I know it was abated in 21, so.
Nathan Hagerman with Taft. I'm counsel for the developer here. Yeah, so we did do the resolution for the abatement back in 2021.
Yep.
The timeline for that did encompass even this expanded timeline that we still have here. So as long as we build the project, I believe by 2031 for this one, it's still within that original resolution. So that's what the project has been developed and their financial model encompasses.
Okay.
What's the name of your storage facility in Texas? Is that where it was at, Texas?
Do you know it?
Yeah, we have. No Trees is what the storage facility in Texas is.
No trees?
Mhm.
Okay.
Any specific questions about No Trees or?
No, I just monitor a storage facility in California, and I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Some things about it.
Yeah, No Tree is one of the longest running battery storage projects in the country. It's one of the first ones in, and it's one of our better performing assets and been run safely for over a decade now.
Okay.
I'm not sure I understood the answer. So is there an EDA agreement with Vigo County on this project, or and is there
There's no
gonna be
EDA.
one? Is there going to be one if there's not?
There is not an EDA. There was not one in place, and that wasn't contemplated as part of the financial project.
I'm aware, just disappointed. I don't have anything else.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
At this time, we would take any public comment. Anybody have anything they would like to talk about? Seeing none, comments from commissioners or other elected officials or department heads? Yep.
Everybody's off doing the summer things, and kids are going to camps and et cetera, and everybody's busy. I think we had Special Olympics. I didn't get a report on how that went. Seemed like it was pretty damp Saturday.
Yeah.
So, CASA had an event Saturday morning. Lots of things going on. Anybody ever wants to give a report on any of those things, why, they're welcome to do that too. Thanks.
Yep, little plug for our blood drive. 2 weeks from today, we'll be having a blood drive here from 2 to 6. You can go online and go ahead and schedule your appointment. Thank you all for coming. We'll stand in recess.